Good afternoon, folks. Chief Meteorologist Nick Lilly here with your tropical update for July 15th of 2019. Brought to you by good folks at Pine Belt Gutters. Good news. Barry continues to mosey on out of here. Of course, officially a hurricane. Officially. It was a hurricane for all of about, an hour, maybe a little bit longer. We'll save that argument for another day. Now, where are we looking into the Atlantic generally? The Gulf of Mexico, just off the coast of the United States, eastern coast of the United States, down into the Caribbean this time of the year. As we get toward August, which we're slowly getting toward August, then we really start looking back out into the Caribbean and into the open Atlantic. But so far, we're keeping things a little bit closer to home, though you will see, coming up here in a couple of seconds, that kind of the Bahamas out toward just north of Puerto Rico is somewhere we're going to have to watch as we head through the next about week. So here's Barry, or what's left of Barry, spinning around across parts of Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, northern Mississippi. Wind at 25 miles an hour. This is the 10 a.m. advisory. So not much left in terms of wind. However, there is still plenty of rain falling across parts of the southeast into the Gulf of Mexico. Nothing else to worry about down here right now. All of the convection that you see, the thunderstorm activity here, is actually getting roped into Barry. So we're not too terribly concerned about this. We've got another kind of tail end of a front firing up over here. Not too terribly concerned about that at this time. This is what's left of a little wave that we were watching a couple of days ago. I'm actually kind of surprised to see that there's this much thunderstorm activity with it. We'll monitor it. The National Hurricane Center isn't concerned about development through the next 2 to 5 days with it. We'll keep tabs on it, but I mean, it's more of a weird kind of a thing, which is generally a good place to start when you're talking about weather stuff happening, but not always. As we look out into the open Atlantic, after that little wave, really not much to speak of. Off the African coast, we've got a couple of waves back here, but it's going to be a while before they get off the coast, and it's something to worry about. All right, let's talk about what's coming up as we head through the next couple of days. 700 millibar moisture, 850 vorticity map. Again, grayed out areas is where we're nice and dry in the mid-levels, and what we're looking for are little areas of blues and yellows and oranges. As a matter of fact, Barry is a good example of that. And that's just low-level spin in the atmosphere. Okay. So we've got nice and dry. And keep your eye on that little dot right there and this little wave back here. And matter of fact, there's going to be another one that comes off the African coast here as well. As we go forward in time, this little wave that's in here, this little one here, and that little one there, and you can see the new one off the coast, it tries to get organized, but it's actually one back in behind it that kind of gets picked up. And you notice how there's all the dry air around it. But that little area, there's really not much, but that little area of vorticity is in here kind of by itself. This is as we head through Saturday, and that slowly tries to drift toward the Gulf of Mexico. At the same time, that one, I know it's a lot to pay attention to, that one to the south kind of gets pulled into the regular vorticity that happens here along the northern coast of South America. And there's a chance that it gets kind of poked out into the northwest Caribbean as we head to the middle of next week. This is what's left of that little wave that was back in behind the first wave that helped kind of pave the way, so to speak, I suppose, for it to make it all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. Now, as of right now, as we head to the middle of next week, model guidance says, really not much to speak of with this. It's just not a great environment for it to thrive in here in the Gulf. However, it does make it into the central or maybe western Gulf of Mexico as a together wave, which is not concerning, but intriguing for us and something that we're going to have to keep tabs on. The little wave down here gets kind of swallowed up, and then the one that was back in behind that we were talking about also gets kind of swallowed up by some of the dry air. In fact, you can see in here, back in behind, I know it's kind of tough to pick out, but back in behind it, there is some vorticity, just a lot of dry air for it to work with and work against. So there's a look at your tropical update from Pine Belt Gutters. Again, for July 15th of 2019, things looking a whole lot better as Barry continues to move north and out of here. But we do have a couple of waves back in behind Barry and out into the open Atlantic that we're keeping tabs on.